Hey everybody, Jeff King here, coming to you with another initial impressions video, and this time we are looking at Parkies, a theme park. You're trying to run a theme park and make yours the most profitable. It says it runs for about 60 minutes, and it goes 2 to 6 players. I don't know if you saw that in there. It says 3 to 6 on this rule book, but I know, and I've gotten a copy of the rules for the 2 to 6 player that they had been play testing for quite a while, and they've got that ironed out to the point where it will be a part of the official rule book, and will be probably listed that way on the Kickstarter, which is coming up very soon. Parkies, again, you're building a theme park and trying to make yours the most profitable. I want to show you a couple of things before we get to the video. The first thing I want to show is you'll see some of this stuff in the video, but here's the play mat with 4 different entrances, and then your allure, profitability, and satisfaction tracks on the side here. But one of the things I want to show you is it is a double-sided play mat. This side you don't see in the video of our gameplay, but it's got this lake in here, and this just makes it a slightly more difficult side of the map to play. So you have your choice of which side you want to play. A couple other things. I'll show you this real quick too. So here's your main map where you've got your small attraction bid area, your medium attraction bid area, and your major attraction bid area. And depending on the number of players, you only use certain ones of these. And then you've got your parky pool, which you'll see getting used quite a bit in the gameplay. Any amount of people can be here. So obviously when you're looking at your bidding track, only one person can bid. But any number of people can be in the parky pool, which will get you $3 on the money track and a parky of your choice, any color. Before I get too far into this, you may or may not know, but I am one of the co-hosts of the Game Crafter official podcast. So JT Smith co-hosts that with me, and JT is one of the people behind this game. So I do have a relationship with him. He did send me a review copy. This is a review copy. And anybody that is either listened to the podcast or a couple of videos where I've looked at things for people I know, you'll know that I always get a little worried when people I have a relationship with send me stuff, not from the aspect of I have to say nice things, but more from the aspect of what if I can't say nice things. I pride myself on doing honest reviews, and I always hope that the people that are friends of mine can separate my opinion and review of a game from our friendship. So far, I haven't had to cross that path too much, but it's always in my mind when I get a game from somebody I know. That said, JT pretty much knew he had a safe bet here because I've played this at Protospiel. I played it multiple times. I really enjoyed it there, gave some of my own feedback there, and was really kind of excited and looking forward to when I got this copy, not only to see the changes that were made, but the last time I played it, it didn't have all the artwork either. So this time around, I get to see all the artwork. The only thing I don't have to show you is the finalized cover art, but that is out there now in the world, so I'll probably snag an image of it to put on the front and back of the video here. So hopefully you'll be able to see it. So for right now, I'm just showing you the front of the rule book. Parkies! So again, you're trying to make your theme park the most profitable. You're trying to raise your, come back over here, your allure, your profitability, and your satisfaction of your attendees, because the more you do that, the more money you get. Every round or every turn, you will get income. Your income will be whichever one of these is the farthest back. So if you've got, 2 of these up in the 10 spot here, but one of them's still down to 5, your income for that round is going to be 5. So you only get $5. So that's one of those things you got to kind of watch. And how these raise is the attractions that you purchase here. I think I got a medium one here close by. So the attractions that you purchase have numbers across the bottom that are part of, again, your allure, your profitability, and your satisfaction. And when you purchase it and place it, you raise those stats by that number. So not every attraction is going to have a number for, say, each one. Or they'll have a number, but it could be 0. So you kind of control this by how you buy these and making sure you're kind of raising everything together. So that's kind of cool. The other thing I want to say is it's kind of interesting. Like right before the weekend before Protospiel, where I got to play this, I had a game night at my place. And somebody I hadn't seen in a long time came. So that was kind of cool. Got to hang out with them. But they also, first game of the entire game day, they walk in, we have some fun. They're like, hey, let's play Vegas Showdown. And I'm like, wow, I have not played Vegas Showdown in forever. So we pulled Vegas Showdown off the shelf and play it, and had a lot of fun with it. I really forgot how much I enjoyed Vegas Showdown, and then kind of lamented a little bit because it's no longer in print and all that good stuff. And then I go to Protospiel, and I get to play Parkies. Parkies has a lot of Vegas Showdown feel to it. You've got the bidding aspect, and you've got your end goal is to try to, the way to end the game, I should say, is to try to connect the 4 entrances in a full, path. Similar to Vegas Showdown, where you're trying to connect the food side and the hotel side and the casino side, and you get points for that as well. So it has a lot of feel of Vegas Showdown. Now, that said, there is stuff going on here that sets it apart, primarily around the Parkies. It's in the name. So your Parkies can do a lot of different things for you. They can help you score points at the end of the game, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. They can give you discounts on your bidding. So if, say, going for a attraction that is a food attraction, which is red, I believe. So if you go for a food attraction, if you have red Parkies in your theme park, for each one you have, you'll get a $2 discount for red attractions going forward. So they can help you in that aspect for the bidding. So as long as you have them there, you'll get that discount. If you're in a position where you need quick cash, you can turn in Parkies. So one-time turn-in, you'll get $5 per Parkie you turn in. So you can get some cash, you can give yourself some discounts, they're used for scoring points. They're also used as a trump, which is kind of interesting as well. So coming back to this guy here, this medium attraction spot here has a max of 20. So somebody bids 20, normally you can't overbid them. And in most games you wouldn't be able to. But let's say that, again, this is a food attraction in the medium here. So it's red, and you've got red Parkies. You can sacrifice one and put it on the attraction to trump the person that's on the 20. So you get rid of, and you don't get a discount anymore. So you got to factor that in. You got to be able to afford your bid. But you take a red Parkie off, you put it on the attraction, you bump the person that's on there, they've got to replace. Now somebody else can come up behind you, and if they have now 2 red Parkies, they can put 2 red Parkies on there and trump you. So, and that can keep going until somebody maxes out the amount of Parkies they want to put on there to do a trump. So there's that. So that's kind of cool as well. The other thing is your Parkies, you'll kind of move them through the park because you're trying to get them 2 attractions that they like. Because at the end of the game, you get points for having Parkies on attractions of the same type. So again, when you get Parkies, they start off in your entrance location. So whatever you put in your entrance locations. And then when it comes to being able to move Parkies, you can move either 1, 2 spaces or 2, 1 space. So it's not fast movement. You got to kind of plan for it a bit, especially as your park kind of starts spreading out. But the nice thing is when you collect Parkies, you can place them on any of the entrance spots. So they'll come in from any of the 4 entrance locations. So you can maybe get closer to an attraction that you're kind of trying to get one to. So, and if you can, again, they'll give you some points at the end of the game. So game ends, I think I already said that, game ends when you connect all 4 entrances. So first player to connect all 4 entrances. Well, the turn will finish, and then you'll go into scoring. If you run out of tiles, you can potentially end the game. I think that way too. That's very rare, maybe in a 6-player game. But usually somebody connects the 4 points. The other thing, and this was kind of a change from the last time I played it at Pro Spiel, I believe, for a free action, you can demolish a piece on your park. So you can't leave a piece out by itself. It's got to be able to trace a path back to an entrance, so you can't just cut off a piece and kind of island it in the middle of the park. But other than that, you can take a piece off, and it's not destroyed. It's just off of your park. It goes to the bottom of whatever pile it's supposed to go to, and it'll come up for bid again later. But again, one of the reasons we might want to do that is because the end condition is getting the 4 entrances connected. You also can't dead end a path into another location. So if there's not a path coming off of one attraction and you try to put a path into it, you can't dead end that. You can run them off the sides of the map, but you can't dead end them into other attractions. So you got to watch out for that. That might be another reason why you kind of demolish a piece, but you can do that. And if there's Parkies on the piece you demolish, they'll go back into the general pool, but you'll still get like $5 per one that happens to. So you're not just completely losing it. So that's how you end the game. Basically going through a turn real quick. So reveal new tiles. If there's any that need to be revealed, depending on the number of players you're playing with. Again, if say like this guy was already purchased the turn before, the tiles will slide down. And as they slide down, like the farther away from the tiles, the tile pile, the cheaper it is to kind of bid on them. Then you'll place your bids in turn order. You'll keep doing that until there's no contention. So again, if you overbid somebody, they get their spot back and they get their piece back and they get to do something again until there's no contention. Either everybody's bidding on one thing or a bunch of people are over in the parky pool area. So then you'll go through and you'll place the pieces that you bid for. So you'll pay for them, place them, and you'll adjust your stats as appropriate I don't know if I showed you that. So this one, if I'm placing this jump slide, I'll put 1 in allure, 1 in profitability, and 2 in satisfaction. And then everybody will do that, and then you'll collect your income. And again, that is farthest behind on this track. So whichever the lowest number is on the track, that's your income for that turn. And then you move Parkies. So this is where you either move 1 Parky 2 spaces or 2 Parkies 1 space. Then you collect Parkies. So you're going to have to move with whatever you got last turn, or if you got in that Parky pool spot, you might have one that you can move. So when you gain Parkies, you can only gain a Parky. So all right. So in the Parky pool, you get your choice of any color you want, even if you don't have an attraction for it. But when you gain Parkies as part of your turn, and everybody does it, it has to be a Parky of an attraction that you already own. And this is done in turn order, which can lead to you maybe not getting a Parkie. So if all of the reds and yellows and blues are out, and that's all you have in your park, you don't get a Parkie that turn. So you got to kind of watch that. And sometimes you kind of mess with that too. If you know what your opponent can only take yellow, and you've got like 3 different choices that you can take, but there's 1 yellow left, you might take the yellow. Just make sure they don't get an extra Parkie. And then that's pretty much it. And then play pass, you pass the first player token and you keep going until somebody gets their 4 locations or 4 entrances connected. So scoring, I'll show you this here. This is a cool little thing. There's turn stuff on the one side, plus what you can do with Parkies, which is kind of cool. So a nice little reference. And then on the back of this tile is how to end the game and scoring. And there are a lot of different ways you can score. So you'll see a bunch of, as I've shown you this, you see a bunch of hearts and stuff. Hearts have a lot to do with your scoring. I'll just go down the scoring track here real quick. For each heart you've met or passed on the money track. So a money track has a bunch of hearts on it. For each one you're on or you've passed, you get a point. Leave your money token on the mat until everything's done. You actually use your bidding pawns on here to score. But leave your money where it goes, because money is a tiebreaker at the end. Let's see. For each attraction type, you get a point. So there are 8 different attraction types. So if you can get multiples of those out of different types, then you get a point for each. So you can get up to 8 points there. For each attraction with a matching Parkie on it, you get a point. So again, going back, you get the food and the water, which is blue. If you have red Parkies on that food attraction, then you get a point. If you have multiple red Parkies on that food attraction, you still only get 1 point. If you have multiple food attractions and have different Parkies on them, different red Parkies on them, then you would get 2 points, or however many you had. So that's another way to get points. And again, that's one of the uses for your Parkies. For each attraction with a heart on it. So some of the attractions actually have hearts on them. Usually they're dead end pieces. So you'll get a point at the end of the game, but you're kind of dead ending a spot where you can no longer use that path to connect all of your entrances. For each heart you've met or passed on your allure, probability and satisfaction track. Again, you see all the hearts on there. So for every one of those you pass, you get a point for. And then connected entrances. So the more entrances you've connected at the end of the game, the more points you'll get. Now, it's a continuous path. So if you've connected 2 entrances on one side and 2 entrances on the other side, you haven't connected 4 entrances. You've connected 2 entrances. So you'll get the lower amount of points. And there you go. And whoever has the most points wins. Tie goes to whoever has the most money on the track. So, final kind of thoughts. I've enjoyed my time with this game. I already knew that. Again, I played it at Protospiel. I had a good time with it. I was excited to see the changes that came about from that time and to see the artwork. It does have, again, that Vegas Showdown feel, but it has enough different with it. It doesn't have that event deck either. That if you've played Vegas Showdown, you've got the event deck. Doesn't have that in here. The Parkies do enough different things that's kind of cool, and you got to kind of weigh using them. Again, do I get extra money? Do I trump you? All that stuff, but am I giving away points at the end of the game, or am I helping myself more now than I would later? And maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll get that Parkie back. All those kind of things. So all of that stuff is kind of cool. I like it. I really enjoy this game. I've had a lot of fun with it. I think this beats out Vegas Showdown by a bit for me, mostly because I think this is a slightly better gateway. Both themes are nice and have a fairly universal appeal. And, the gambling thing, depending on the individual, may pass on that just because Vegas Showdown is about Vegas, right? And building a casino. I still think both themes are very universal. I think this one might be slightly more universal. Again, the whole theme park thing. And without the event deck and some of the other stuff, I think this one beats it out, trumps it. A little bit in the gateway thing for me. And it also helps, I would say, that myself and Megan are really big theme park people. We enjoy that kind of stuff, and we like playing things like Zoo Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon and all that kind of stuff. So the theme park thing really appeals to us in this house. So that helps it as well. Again, the universal theme. So I would say definitely go check it out. If you don't like bidding games, okay, this may not be for you. If you don't like the little bit of randomness that comes off of the pool of the tiles, again, I think that's minimal at best, and nothing different than you're going to get in a lot of different games. But again, some people don't like that. Then maybe you'll pass, but I would go check it out. Watch whatever's on the Kickstarter video or Kickstarter page. Check out the rule book. Again, really nicely laid out rule book. Very visual, very short. So again, great gateway, casual gamer gateway game. I think it's worth your time. So go check it out when it hits Kickstarter. Again, as soon as I know it's live and all that good stuff, we'll have a link probably right in here that you can go check. So Parkies, go check it out as soon as it comes out on Kickstarter and back it if it's something that you like. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, and I have more videos coming soon. Talk to you later.